Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Boyographic, the show in which I, Matt, the Game Boy, take you through the highs and lows of the Game Boy library. This week I'm actually looking at a game recommended by one of you lovely people. This game was recommended by a user called Cordan1990. It's Looney Tunes. In the dawn of the NES, Sunsoft were known for two things: the kick-ass platforming games and their breathtaking visuals that pushed the Nintendo Entertainment System to its limit. Oh, and Batman. Three things: the kick-ass platformers, great-looking games, and Batman. And Blaster Master. Damn it. Monty Python references aside, Sunsoft were a force to be reckoned with on the early Nintendo hardware, and the Game Boy was no exception to this. Their output to everyone's favourite plum-buttoned handheld is mainly licensed titles, and most of these are surprisingly based on the Looney Tunes characters, which brings us to today's games, the aptly named Looney Tunes. This game's a bit of an odd one, really. It almost feels like a tech demo shown to Warner Brothers as a proof of concept, as not only do you play several different characters in the game, but each character almost stars in a game of their own. We have platforming sections with Daffy, Speedy Gonzales and Bugs Bunny. Tweety and Roadrunner get race-type levels, and Taz just wreaks havoc, while Porky Pig stars in his own shump. So, there really is a bizarre mix of mechanics in this game, but unfortunately there really is an inconsistent level of quality between them. So, let's go right for the jugular and say that the platforming section of Looney Tunes are a real letdown. I'm alright with Sunsoft not sticking 100% to the source material, even though, let's face it, there are plenty of great things they can bad Bugs and Daffy do, but it's not the fact that Daffy throws a frisbee as an attack that bothers me. It's that such an accomplished developer as Sunsoft, one that would give us Trip World a few years later, didn't manage to get the platforming right. The jump doesn't feel on par with what you'd expect from a platformer, and the player has to deal with an overbearing and cumbersome momentum-based jump system. It results in annoyance at the beginning of the game, but later when playing as Speedy Gonzales makes the game border on broken, as precision platforming is required but cannot be done without exploiting a secondary animation for an attack. It's infuriating! And while we're talking about Speedy, why the hell did Sunsoft think it would be a great idea to make him dance around as an attack? Sure, it looks nice, but the animation takes a good 3 seconds, which means A, you're gonna get hit, and B, Speedy Gonzales is supposed to be fast. Jump mechanics aside, these platforming levels feel really uninspired. Sure, they look pretty, but the whole game does. You simply go through a short segment of each level, killing enemies that require little to no thought to beat, then move on to the next set piece. There are some sections of the game that do try some interesting mechanics, and these are mainly found in the Speedy Gonzales level, such as the flooding sequence and the slide puzzle. But again, this makes the game feel more like a tech demo than anything else. The race levels are quite fun. Tweety stage is like a 90s version of Flappy Bird, where you mash the A button to fly while avoiding obstacles. However, Roadrunner stage, while capturing the feel of the original animations, is a rather tedious boss fight with Wile E. Coyote, who isn't so true to the cartoon because he's seriously good at killing Roadrunners. Porky's flying stage is a bit of fun, but uninspired also, while Taz's stage is mechanically sound, but is only there as a means of filling a minute of gameplay time, as there is no way to win or lose at the level. You simply gain points either way, again adding to the tech demo theory. If we look at the game as a whole, there is a sense of balance in the quality of Sunsoft's Looney Tunes. For every annoying jump, there's a beautiful visual. Each annoying boss fight is offset by another piece of great music, while the stages themselves are proportionally fun to tedious, even if they don't break any new ground. There are also very strange pseudo-Nintendo references in this game though, such as the one-up suspiciously looking like the one from Kirby's Dream Land. Wily throws seemingly slimmed down bullet bills at you, and not to mention Sabasa the Witch from Super Mario Land 2's Pumpkin Zone being a boss in Porky Pig's flying section, before a warped version of the Starman begins to throw cutlery at you. I can't quite figure out if it's a homage, a dig at the big N, or pure coincidence. Either way, it's a little unsettling. Also, this vampire boss looks crazy familiar to me, but I can't seem to put a finger on it. If you know, please let me know in the comments what you think. So, at the end of the day, would I recommend Looney Tunes? Well, if I were to do so, it would be begrudgingly. There are so many better games on the system in the same price range, and I'd say it was better to get the games that this one inspired from Sunsoft, rather than this petri dish of gameplay mechanics, such as Speedy Gonzales, Daffy Duck The Marvin Missions, and the game's direct sequel, Looney Tunes 2 Tasmanian Devil Island Chase. Not only are these games more refined by using only one basic mechanic, but they're also a lot more fun. And that brings us to the end of this week's Boyographic, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed. A big thank you to Kodan1990 for recommending this game. While perhaps not my favourite on the system, it was very interesting to play, so thanks. If you guys have any recommendations of what I should play next, please leave them in the comments down below, or you can reach me on Twitter at GameBoyle and let me know there. Until next week, Game Boys and Girls, I guess, that's all folks. Game on.